was pretty brazen, you would think. Well, I found we were tagged in another video as well. Similar captions, we were all tagged in it. He's again challenging law enforcement to catch him. That right there that you see is him attempting to burglarize a marked patrol car from the DPS. So it looked like he went to a state trooper's residence and was trying to burglarize the vehicle there in the driveway. That video that you see there, we were able to track down that trooper. That happened in Pflugerville, Texas, not here in the Bexar County area. But again, we were all tagged in it. The night that I discovered these videos, I sent them over to my organized crime group and I asked them to start doing research on this young man. Now, I was fully expecting that he was using a fake name. No, as it turns out, he tagged, not only did he tag all of us, but he showed his face in the videos and he used his real name. And so it wasn't very hard to track him down. Now we did, as we were doing some research on him, we did find some other social media posts, one very concerning. That there is a picture of him wearing a makeshift KKK hood. And in the caption, we won't share the caption, but it's pretty inflammatory. He was indicating that he was going to rob and kill members of the African American community. So that really gave us a cause for concern, and we really felt the need to catch this kid as soon as possible. As it turns out, he has been conducting robberies, not just here in Bexar County, but I will show you, he's got a total of 6 counts of robbery right now, active warrants. He was arrested this afternoon in the 11,000 block of Spring Club by the Bexar County Sheriff's Office and members of the Lone Star Fugitive Task Force on these warrants. So these warrants come from Austin, San Antonio, Williamson County. It appears that he and another group of juveniles and adults were traveling back and forth among all these counties and conducting robberies. Now, some of these cases are involve aggravated kidnappings where they took victims by force. In one case, they took a 14-year-old by force at gunpoint, took him from point A to point B, I don't know full details, and robbed him at gunpoint with an AK-47 style rifle of an iPad. Today, we were able to get him into custody along with at least one other adult, also in a stolen car there on Spring Club. But again, we're glad that we were able to get this kid off the streets before he ended up hurting anybody else. So we are asking anybody from San Antonio, Bexar County, all the way up into Williamson, Travis County, if they've got any information, or if there's anybody that may have felt like that may have been robbed or assaulted, or their vehicle burglarized, and they feel that this young man may have been involved, please give us a call, 210-335-6000. You can also email us at bcsotips@bear.org. Esta tarde nosotros arrestamos a un sospechoso, un joven de, how old is he, Johnny? 15 años de edad, que se aparenta que la semana pasada él nos dejó un mensaje por medio de las redes sociales que él estaba cortando su pulsera es que él está en probation ahorita y se cortó la pulsera. Pero también nos dejó mensaje a nosotros, tanto a los medios, por medio de las redes sociales, y pues él también dejó video intentando de entrar a un carro de patrulla de la policía estatal. Nosotros ya cuando empezamos a investigar a este joven, nosotros descubrimos otros puestos en sus redes sociales donde él se aparenta que estaba amenazando contra la comunidad afroamericana, que iba a matar gente, que iba a robar gente. Entonces a nosotros por eso nosotros nos interesaba mucho arrestarlo. Esta tarde nosotros logramos hacer eso, logramos información que él estaba en 11,000 Spring Club aquí en la ciudad de San Antonio, y lo arrestamos por varias órdenes de arresto de otros condados donde se aparenta que él ha estado trabajando con otros sospechosos, robando gente a fuerza, secuestrándolos y quitándoles artículos personales a fuerza. Y él estaba armado con una AK-47 o un rifle estilo AK-47 en uno de estos robos. Entonces a nosotros nos da mucho gusto poder arrestar a este sospechoso, y le surgimos al público que si alguien los había robado en uno de estos condados, y si tienen información que piensan que este es el sospechoso que lo robó, por favor háblenos al 210-335-6000.
¿Qué tan importante era para usted arrestar a este muchacho?
Bueno, este muchacho ya sabíamos que era persona peligrosa. Obviamente él estaba amenazando contra la comunidad afroamericana. El mensaje que él puso estaba diciendo cosas bien feas, que iba a colgar gente de la comunidad afroamericana en un árbol y que los iba a matar, los iba a robar. Entonces para nosotros queríamos arrestarlo tan pronto que se podía. Lo hemos andado buscando por toda esta semana. Este día, ya cuando logramos arrestarlo, nosotros fuimos a la casa con órdenes de arresto para capturarlo. Ya cuando nosotros empezamos a anunciar en frente de la casa que lo queríamos arrestar, que se saliera, él intentó salirse por una ventana de atrás, pero nosotros teníamos un dron ahí atrás, teníamos el video donde él quiso escaparse por la ventana de atrás, se fijó que nosotros teníamos un dron ahí afuera de la casa, ahí se rindió solo él ya cuando vio el dron y que no se iba a escapar.
¿Los padres de él sabían lo que este muchacho estaba haciendo?
Bueno, los padres de él lo reportaron como missing person hace unos cuantos días, pero se aparenta que han tenido problemas con este joven por varios años ya. Para nosotros esta persona es un criminal, simplemente es un criminal, y para mí que él ya pues obviamente ya ha causado varios daños y heridas a gente. Para nosotros nos da mucho gusto poder arrestarlo este día.
Can you repeat in English how you were able to track him down?
Sure. Well, we've been tracking him with the help of, we have a deputy assigned to the Lone Star Fugitive Task Force. They've obviously got some resources that we don't have readily available to us. And so we've been tracking him via social media for some time, but we weren't able to put him down on where exactly he was. So thankfully, this afternoon, we were able to get information that he was in the 11,000 block of Spring Club. That's when our BCSO SWAT team, our covert members, and Lone Star Fugitive Task Force made contact with him in the 11,000 block of Spring Club. We set up in the front yard. We started announcing to him to come out of the house and surrender. At this point, what we know is that he was trying to escape out the back window, but we had a drone set up in the back. And so it's pretty interesting video, pretty laughable video, actually. He comes out. He's going to be climbing out the window. He looks up and he looks right into our drone and then just gives up at that point, walks back out to the front door and gives himself up. Smart move on his part.
In that first video, what was interesting is it appears somebody else was taking the ankle monitor off of him. Who is that person? Do you have a suspect?
Well, we've got other suspects that are involved. I know today there was at least one other person arrested. I know that Travis County, Williamson County, the other counties that are working with us also have other suspects that they're looking for. So at this point, I wouldn't be at liberty to say who that other person is in the video, but suffice it to say between us and other county agencies that are working these other thefts and robberies, absolutely we know who these people are.
Is he from San Antonio, the 15-year-old?
He is. He was a student at Warren High School I guess at the time that this happened. But while he's a resident of San Antonio, it appears that his area of operations was at least several counties wide.
Estamos hablando entonces tal vez de un grupo de jóvenes, Sheriff, y ¿puedes explicar eso?
Sí, este es un grupo de jóvenes y también adultos que están trabajando juntos en conjunto, simplemente para robarse carros, robar a la gente, armados con armas robadas también. Por eso son personas bien peligrosas. Este caso me recuerda de otro caso que nosotros trabajamos hace unos cuantos meses. Nosotros hicimos una conferencia de prensa similar a esto. Dos jóvenes que se habían cortado las pulseras. Los arrestamos después de que ellos pusieron algo en las redes sociales similar a esto. Para mí, estos jóvenes lo están haciendo por la atención que ellos agarran, se me figura a mí, pero es un juego muy peligroso que ellos están jugando y pues obviamente pueden poner a riesgo toda la comunidad, todos los oficiales que los están persiguiendo y para él, afortunadamente para él llegó a la cárcel antes de que podía haber matado a alguien.
¿Cree usted que lo hacen porque saben que son menores de edad y el castigo puede ser menor?
Bueno, hay chance de eso, que ellos piensan que con su edad, que son jóvenes, que la ley no los va a castigar como a un adulto, pero nosotros ahorita en estos momentos estamos tratando de certificarlo como adulto a él. Entonces, él se va a enfrentar con muchos cargos bien serios por lo que ha hecho.
Is it considered a crime ring, and about how many people were involved, and are they all teenagers?
It's absolutely a crime ring. At this point, I believe we've got a total of about 4 or 5 people involved that we know of. It wouldn't surprise me to know that there's others involved as this continues to unwind. What I was telling Antonio is that this actually reminds me a lot of another ring that we hit not too long ago. They put a similar challenge, and I would imagine this is where that's where he got this idea to throw down the challenge to the Bexar County Gang Unit. The come and get me type thing. I think that they're doing it, quite frankly, for the following that they get on social media, the thrill that they get on social media. But it's a dangerous game. He had a lot of first responders out there looking for him. And I'm just glad we got him into custody before he made good on his threats to harm people.
And it reminds me of the Bald Mountain, shooting.
That's-
And I don't know if that's what you were.
That's the group I'm talking about.
Is it almost a trend that you're seeing in youth of kind of taunting law enforcement? Because this is the first I've seen of kids using social media to taunt.
Sure, I mean that's exactly the case I was talking about. Is that Bald Mountain group? As we know, they got out on bond after the Bald Mountain shooting. They were on ankle monitors. They cut the ankle monitors off. They laid down a challenge to law enforcement, and of course, it's up to us to go out and recapture them. That's exactly what this young man did. And I think that they're doing it for the thrill. They love that they're, I guess, enamored with that gang culture, that hard life culture. And if you saw this kid, he looks like one of these little kids from that you see on music videos. He looks like a very famous singer that we all know and love. That's who he looks like. So there's nothing. If you look at the kid, there's nothing to him. He doesn't look very threatening. But certainly some of the words that he's using, some of the things that he's saying, he's a dangerous person. And I'm glad we got him behind bars.
Sheriff, una cosa es el robo de autos, tratar de hacer eso, pero otra cosa ya es cuando se mete a la ideología de matar gente que sea de color. Eso lleva a un nivel.
No, eso obviamente nos preocupa mucho. Ya nosotros vimos esa historia de los jóvenes que vinieron de otro estado este fin de semana. Yo yo cuando vi esa historia pensé que era él porque nosotros ya estamos trabajando en este caso. Pues eso nos da mucho pendiente cuando algo así pase. Por eso tenemos que arrestar a estas personas tan pronto que se pueda, ya cuando los encontramos.
¿Pudiera estar involucrado en un grupo de odio racista?
Sí podría estar involucrado con otro grupo. Mira, ya muy bien, él puso como KKK en las redes sociales. Es posible que él ya está con uno de estos grupos. También es posible que él solamente estaba bromeando, pero de eso no se bromea. Hacer amenazas contra una comunidad así como él los hizo. Como dije, las palabras que él usó son palabras bien feas y pues, por eso a nosotros nos da mucho gusto arrestar a ese sospechoso peligroso.
You said it was a dangerous game. What are the serious consequences that they're facing?
Well, right now he's looking at the charge. First and foremost, he's looking at those 6 charges for the aggravated robberies and robberies that he's already committed. That and cutting off the ankle monitor is another charge that we're going to be filing at large on him before too long. I don't think he'll be getting out of jail anytime soon, much like the Bald Mountain shooters that we talked about. This case just reminds me of that case to no end. But I don't think he'll be getting out anytime soon. He's got a litany of charges that he's already facing. But again, it wouldn't surprise me to get calls after today, people saying, "Hey, I live in Travis County, I live in Williamson County. This happened. It may be this guy." So I wouldn't be surprised if there's other cases that come from it.
¿Cómo se siente usted de saber que estos niños están retándolo a usted y a su agencia? Ven a atraparme y qué mensaje quisiera enviar en general.
Bueno, para nosotros estos sospechosos, para mí que lo andan haciendo por la atención que ellos logran en sus redes sociales, pero es un juego bien peligroso. Ponen a riesgo, obviamente, el público, ponen a riesgo todos los oficiales y también ponen a riesgo sus familias también, mientras que nosotros estamos tratando de arrestarlos, ponen todo el mundo en peligro y eso no se puede tolerar.
Irisa had a last question.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any
Absolutely. Don't do it. It's just not worth, you may get a certain thrill from, the likes and follows and the challenges on various social media platforms, but you're playing a very dangerous game. You're putting everybody at risk. The general public, certainly the people that they're victimizing on a daily basis while they're out there on the loose, acting like idiots. The first responders whose job it is to pursue them, but then they're also putting at risk their own families as well as a result of it. So it's an extremely dangerous game, and I certainly wouldn't recommend it to any young people looking to emulate that sort of behavior.
Is he actually in the 53 or?
Well, that's the thing, I don't know. He posted it, but whether he is or isn't, as you know, that's just dangerous behavior right there. And then to read some of the words, the hateful, insightful, are not inflammatory words that he posted. Where did this kid learn this in his life? I don't know. It's just it's an ugly situation no matter what. Thank y'all.
She is, yeah.
Keep it about